Yes, students. So during the recording, it was disconnected. So I will continue again. Yes. So during the discussion, disconnected. So that I will continue the here onwards again. So we are there here. Is controlling it, obviously, which is controlling the power modulator. So the major function of control unit will provide sequencing and interlocking. So for example, rectifier is the power modulator and the control unit is a firing circuit. So it is a single phase rectifier, for example, how many switches are there? 4 switches are there. All these switches are thyristor. So 4 pulses are required. So the pulses are giving to the rectifier in such a way that the T1 and T2 will be at one sequence, and T3 and T4 are one sequence. And in a particular span of time, those are interlocking and then produced to the required thyristors. So that means that the major function of the control unit will provide sequence of pulses during a particular specified time period. That is nothing but the interlock. Generally, solid state relays are used. Solid state relays. Relays in the sense, this is also a kind of switches. Yes. So these relays are giving the signal to the thyristors. And complicated operations, the PLCs, programmable logic controllers, are employed for the sequencing of the pulses. Yes. So it is the control unit in the parts of electrical drive is over. And the last one is the sensing unit. Yes. So sensing units, what is the sensing unit? Particularly sensing units are required when closed loop operations are to be carried on. So closed loop operations, when you go for the closed loop operations, when the system accuracy is much is required, then we can obviously consult with our closed loop systems. Yes. So in this regards, sensing units are very, very essential. There are two types of sensing: speed sensing and current sensing. Yes. So let us see what are the two types of sensing devices for us. One is the speed sensing and another one is the current sensing. So speed sensing is required for implementation of closed loop systems. So speed is usually sensed by a tachometers. So in our laboratory, number of tachometers are available. And those are two types: contacted type tachometers and contactless type tachometers. So contacted in the sense, just it has a rotating rotor. That rotor is initiated with the motor shaft, so that it will records the speed in terms of RPM. Is it or not? So contactless is a sensor based. A sensor is to be, once you press the switch of a tachometer, the sensor is directly projected on the rotating rotor, so that it sends the speed. Yes, tachometer is the one of the good device to sense the speed. Yes, so sensing speed is possible with the help of the tachometers. So in the drives particularly, all the drive systems are rotational one, and those drives are to be analyzed. Those drive speed is to be analyzed with the help of a speed sensing. And what about the current sensing? Yes, so current sensors, transducers, yes, thermistors. So generally two common methods of current sensing. Those are, one is the using current sensors employing Hall effect cell. Hall effect in the sense, when the currents are increases, the temperatures are increases. The increased temperatures are to be measured, and based upon that, that gives the signal to the system so that the control unit will be alter the requirements. Another one is using a non-inductive resistance sent in connection with an isolation transformer. So this may be also regards the what is the increment of the current, and based upon that, the control unit will change the uh, the pulse so that the voltage will be changed. Yes. So sensing unit exclusively used when the type of controlling is required as a closed loop. Yes. So when closed loop control is required, you can proceed for the sensing units, because in closed loop operation, the speed of the drives is very high. The speed of the drives is very high. So, sorry, the speed or accuracy. Sorry, instead of being better to call it as a accuracy instead of speed. Yes. So in closed loop system, the accuracy is very high. So that is the reason we can go for the closed loop systems. So closed loop system sensing units are very, very important. Those are speed sensing and current sensing. Yes. So how the speed sensing? It will help a tachometers, you know. How the current sensing? It will help the sensors, current sensors. Yes. So in this regards, the receivers, transmitters, and transducers. So all these are helpful for sensing the current and transferring to the control unit. Okay. So this is simply the introduction to thyristor control drives. So in this, what is the drive? What is the block diagram of the drive? Yes, what are the various parts of an electrical drive, and what is the description belongs to each and every part in the electrical drive. So thank you. With this, the introduction to thyristor control drives is over. Okay.